باب قول الله تعالى إذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض وابتغوا من فضل الله. The statement of Allah that when the salah is over, then disperse, spread through the land and seek the bounty of Allah. Which salah? Salat al-Jumu'ah, because this is ayah from Surah al-Jumu'ah. So once the salah is over, then what should people do? What does Allah say? فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Go, disperse through the land. Meaning go where you have to. Go do something. And what should you do? Waste your time? No. وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ. Now this command over here, فَانْتَشِرُوا وَابْتَغُوا, this is amr for ibaha. Command for permissibility. Meaning it is permissible to do this. It doesn't mean that you have to, you must, but it means you may. So after salah, what do we learn? It's best that a person resumes his work, goes back to his work, and fadlillah, the fadl of Allah, it means food, go eat. It means work, go work and make money. It means ilm, so go and sit in a gathering of knowledge and seek some knowledge, right? Go do your business, go do whatever you have to. But the ayah continues and it also tells us, وَاذْكُرُ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا, and do dhikr of Allah. Meaning don't forget Allah for the rest of your day. Whatever you're doing, eating, with your family, at work, whatever you're doing, remember Allah. حدثنا سعيد بن أبي مريم قال حدثنا أبو غسان قال حدثني أبو حازم عن سهل قال, he said, كانت فينا امرأة. He said there used to be a woman among us. Meaning, during our time, there was a woman. تجعل, she would put, meaning she would plant, على أربعاء, on the أربعاء. أربعاء meaning the irrigation channels. في مزرعة لها, in a mazra'a that she used to have. What is mazra'a? Field, farmland. So this field that she owned, what did she do? She would put in the irrigation channels, meaning the part that was for basically water to flow in. She would put over there, she would plant over there silqan. Silq, beets. You know what beets are? Beetroot, right? It looks like turnip, but it's red, right? Very, very bright and red. Full of good nutrition, good stuff. So she would plant it herself. In that extra land, she would plant it. فَكَانَتْ إِذَا كَانَ يَوْمُ جُمْعَةٍ. So she used to, when it used to be the day of Friday, she would تَنْزِعُ, she would pull out أُصُولَ السِّلْقِ, the usul, the root of the silk plant. Meaning, because the beets are basically the roots, right? So she would pull it out, فَتَجْعَلُهُ فِي قِدْرٍ, and she would put it in a pot. What? The beets. She would put them in a pot. Meaning not the greens, not the leaves, but the actual bulb. Now we're being told about a recipe over here, okay? ثُمَّ تَجْعَلُ عَلَيْهِ, then she would put on top of it قَبْضَةً, a handful, مِنْ شَعِيرٍ, of barley. Okay? Of some grain. So she would put a handful of barley. تَطْحَنُهَا, and then she would cook all of that together. فَتَكُونُ أُصُولُ السِّلْقِ عَرْقَهُ. Then the root of the plant, meaning the beets, they would become like arqahu, like the meat. Meaning in big chunks. So just like in a stew, what is it that you have in big, big pieces? Meat. Right? So just like that in this food that she would prepare, the beets would be like meat for us. وَكُنَّا نَنْصَرِفُ مِنْ صَلَاةِ الْجُمُعَةِ. And we would return from Salat al-Jumu'ah, meaning after Jumu'ah, we would go, فَنُسَلِّمُ عَلَيْهَا, and we would greet her. فَتُقَرِّبُ ذَلِكَ الطَّعَامِ. So she would bring this food to us, إِلَيْنَا, to us, فَنَلْعَقُهُ, and we would just eat it up with our fingers. وَكُنَّا نَتَمَنَّى يَوْمَ الْجُمُعَةِ لِطَعَامِهَا ذَلِكَ. We would look forward to the day of Friday for this food of hers. This was our special Friday treat. Our special Friday lunch that this woman would prepare for all of us. I mean, if you think about it, beets and barley cooked together, and beets, obviously as they would cook, they would, break down, not completely disintegrated, but break down into big pieces. It's like a fancy risotto almost. Huh? So, she would prepare this. Now the question is, who was this woman, and was she related to them, and was she their mother or their aunt? No, they said, كانت فينا امرأة. She was just a woman amongst us. Lived in the neighborhood. We knew her, she knew us. Just. And she is preparing food for the boys that are coming from Salat al-Jumu'ah. And they would look forward to this meal. She would treat them with the special meal on Friday. And this is an act of charity, right? Generally we prepare food for who? Ourselves or our families. But look how she's preparing food for who? For the people who are performing the salah. Right? And look at her, how she's planting, this vegetable herself in her land, and she's cooking the food herself. This is sadaqah how? With your own earning. With your own earning. Something that you've earned yourself. Something that you've worked on yourself. And then from it you give in charity. Even if it's a little bit, it's best. It's best. And it's such an amazing thing. Sometimes we think, I'm not a millionaire. I don't have too much money. I don't have an income. Yeah, my husband makes money. I barely get anything. What can I give? What can I do? We can prepare food, right? We can do these kind of things and give to others. Whatever she could do, she did. And notice how every week it's the same thing. But they loved the food. They would look forward to it. And then we also see over here that they would come and greet her with salam. Men can say salam to a non-mahram woman. If they're coming across her, she's bringing them food, should they say salam to her? Yes. Because sometimes we create this awkward, unnecessary barrier. That if our friend has come with her husband, they're at the door, we will say salam to the friend, but ignore the husband as if he doesn't exist. This kind of pretentious haya, it's not necessary. If somebody is in front of you, they have come, acknowledge their presence, doesn't mean you have to carry on a big conversation. No, salam, that's it. Look at them, what are they doing? They would just come and say salam, and she would bring the food. Nothing like, so how was Jumua, and who gave the khutbah? How was your week? No long conversation.
Somebody or the other came for a meal. Like my father would bring either travelers or the gentlemen that were cleaning the masjid or whatever. They always brought them.
Alhamdulillah.
Friday was a special day, always. Because now the distance and things like that, people work far away from home. But in those days when we were growing up, that's how it was. There was always somebody or the other, a special meal. A simple, like the dal and rice as we called it. And this Friday was the special. It didn't have dal and rice like it was something.
Simple meal, but something different. Right? And, generally it happens as a family, you go out to eat somewhere or, it happens all the time. So why not on Friday? It's a Friday treat. Make Friday special, with special food. حدثنا عبد الله بن مسلمة قال حدثنا ابن أبي حازم عن أبيه عن سهل بهذا وقال ما كنا نقيل ولا نتغدى إلا بعد الجمعة. This is also related from Sahil, and he said that we did not have an afternoon nap or lunch except after Jumu'ah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةُ فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ. فَضْلِ اللَّهِ also includes food. So they said that we would only eat our lunch when? After Jumu'ah. After Jumu'ah eat lunch, not before Jumu'ah. Why? Because if you eat your lunch before Jumu'ah,